Gunfire chewed the mud. Bullets snapped past like angry bees. Reed hit the ground hard, face pressed into grit, ears ringing from the last blast. The mountain village burned in patches. Roofs threw ember flakes into the gray sky. Diesel smoke mixed with dust and cordite. Someone screamed 2 houses over. An engine coughed. Another burst of automatic fire tore bricks from the wall over his head. Move, he told himself. He pushed off the ground and slid along a crumbled wall, keeping low. His team was scattered across the alley. Mac was 10 yards back, bleeding from the bicep, a red tourniquet cinched tight. 2 aid workers hugged a doorframe, eyes wide. Reed waved them forward. A round spat dirt near his hand, and he flinched. Old fear tried to climb his throat. Not again. Not this time. A single shot cracked from the ridge. Clean. Measured. The machine gun on the rooftop went quiet mid-burst. The alley exhaled. Dust settled. Reed looked up. On a collapsed balcony, half hidden behind a broken satellite dish, a woman lay behind a long rifle. She adjusted her scope caps with quick, precise fingers. Her cheek stayed welded to the stock. Calm breath. Sunburned nose. Eyes like pin steel. 2 o'clock. Second story. Window with the curtain, she said, voice low and steady. Reed peeked and saw the faint flicker of a muzzle behind torn cloth. He ducked. Another crisp shot from the woman. The flicker died. "Who the hell are you?" he called. She did not look at him. "Keep your people tight. Watch the rooftops for mirrors. They signal fire from the orchard." She was American. The rifle was an American build. The suppressor had a familiar crest. Her harness was coyote tan and new. On the sling near her shoulder, a small patch rode the webbing. A white skull masked in smoke. 2 black eyes. A thin silver line stitched under it. A ghost you could almost miss if you were not looking. Reed froze for a heartbeat. He knew that insignia. He knew it in the way your body knows a scar. Phantom unit. Rumor given a shape. A black cell spoken of in briefings, then erased in the next sentence. Disbanded after everything went ugly. Officially burned. Unofficially, no one ever said more. He pushed the thought away and scanned the street again. In the doorway, Mac dragged one of the aid workers forward. The kid could not be more than 16. Dirt on his cheeks. Knuckles white around a folded paper map. Reed clipped the boy to his vest tether. "Stay with me," Reed said. "Do not run." The woman breathed out. Fired. A mirror on a rooftop shattered. She twisted the cap again, counted in a whisper Reed could not catch, then shifted her body angle an inch. An RPG hissed from somewhere near the market. Reed felt the air change and threw himself over the kid. The rocket slammed into the Jeep at the corner. The blast lifted the hood like a toy and threw fire into the alley. Heat rolled over them. His ears rooster crowed. He tasted copper. When the hiss in his head fell, he heard the woman again. "You are Wolf too, Reed Anders." She said his name like a fact pulled from a clean page. "You have 4 with you. 1 is hit. Your exfil window closes in 12 minutes. The orchard is a kill box. Do not go there." He stared up at her. "How do you know my name?" She did not answer. Her eye never left the scope. She reached for the scope caps again and clicked them down, like she was sealing a decision. "The target is 3 houses north. Green door. He will try to break out under smoke." "The target is War Dog," Reed said. It was a call sign of a militia boss who ran the hills. A kidnapper. A bomb maker. The mission packet had been clear. "Grab him. Get out." "No," she said. "That was the sale. The real man is already moving." She flagged her hand. Reed followed the line and saw the faint glint of a tripwire strung low across a stairwell. A shape waited behind it in deep shadow. The man wore a scarf that hid his face. The woman's round took him in the throat before he could rise. Reed swallowed. The street smelled like charred rubber and old cooking oil. He checked his wrist map. Nothing about this alley felt like the diagram they had studied. Angles had shifted. Routes had vanished under rubble. He looked at her patch again. The ghost stared back. "Phantom is dead," he said. She finally looked at him. Up close, He saw her eyes were tired. Phantom lives as a directive, not a unit. What directive? She did not answer. She nodded at Mac, who was tightening his sling and waving the team forward. Your number 3 wears a red tourniquet. He saved you at the clinic door. He pulled you behind the generator when you froze. The word hit him like a palm to the chest. He had frozen. 2 weeks ago. A doorway choked with smoke. His mind had gone white and empty. Mac had dragged him clear and laughed at the scorch on his vest to keep him from drowning in shame. Mac had bought him 40 more seconds that day. We do not have time for therapy, the woman said. Listen, your comms are mirrored. Your routes were sold this morning. There is a second shooter trailing you with a thermal scope. He is not militia. He is cleaner. You feel him already. Reed felt it. The itch between his shoulder blades. The air that moves when someone is watching. He scanned the windows again and saw nothing. Who sold us? He asked. She adjusted her scope caps one last time. The one with the red tourniquet. Reed blinked. Mac. She never flinched. He burned your routes for 5,000. He marked your exfil with chalk, then wiped it with diesel. He has a beacon in his plate carrier. Contracted cutout. If he reaches the orchard, you will die in a crossfire. So will the kid. So will your pilot. My directive is to prevent that. Reed shook his head. You are wrong. She flicked her wrist. His earpiece popped with static and then cleared. A new voice bled into the net. Flat. Filtered. Asset is in motion. Red marker verified. Authorized termination. Her cheek stayed on the stock. Her barrel tracked Mac as he stepped into the open, face lined with confusion and pain. The wind tugged at the loose end of his tourniquet. The red strip flashed bright. A tight red climbed his collarbone and rested at the hinge of his jaw. Stop, Reed said. Hold. Let me talk to him. Your seconds are gone, she said. Choose. Mac turned, eyes searching the smoke for Reed. The kid at Reed's vest began to cry. Someone shouted from the market. The dot on Mac's jaw steadied. The woman's finger closed. The rifle cracked. The rifle cracked. Mac dropped to one knee, hand to his neck. Blood welled between his fingers. Not a kill shot. A crease. The round had shaved skin and left a bright red groove. He stared up toward the balcony with shock and fury. Reed moved. He pulled the kid with him and slid to the overturned cart. Splinters caught his palms. The alley stank of burst diesel. He looked at Mac. Mac was alive, breathing, bleeding, eyes clear. Hold your fire, Reed shouted. We settle this in the open. The woman did not reply. She cycled the bolt in one fluid motion. The sound clicked into the ringing in Reed's head. He felt the seconds peel away. Mac pointed at Reed, face twisted. What did you do? Stay behind cover, Reed said. He looked up at the balcony. Target shooter. You clipped him. Now listen. If Mac is burned, prove it. The woman spoke without lifting her cheek. Check his carrier. Left plate pocket. You will find the beacon. 2x2 black module. Frost atop. Mac swore. She is lying. Reed duffed to him. Mac flinched and raised a shaky fist. Reed grabbed the carrier strap and yanked. The Velcro snarled. He shoved his hand into the front pocket. Cold plastic kissed his fingers. He pulled out a small module the size of a pager. Frosted window. Blinking green dot. Mac's face went still. I did not put that there. You wore it, the woman said. You walked us to a dead orchard. Asset confirmed. Mac gritted his teeth. My gear was in the truck when we hit the checkpoint. I went to the roof to pull Overwatch. My carrier was not on me for 10 minutes. Someone could have planted it. The filtered voice slid back into the net. Terminate the asset. Proceed. Reed looked at the module. The blink was slow and calm. The kid stared at it like it was a snake. Reed felt the scratch of dirt under his tongue. Every briefing he had ever sat through about insider threats scraped across his skull. He thought of Mac laughing at the scorch on his vest 2 weeks ago. He thought of Mac grabbing his collar and dragging him out. Trust had a weight. It did not vanish fast. Reed set the module on the ground and smashed it with the butt of his rifle. Plastic cracked. The light died. The alley felt wider by one breath. A new sound rose. Thin. Mechanical. It came from above the market. A small quad drone nosed over the roofline, camera eye black and bright. It hovered and tilted. The woman snapped a shot. The drone jittered, then fell through smoke and vanished on the street with a dry clatter. "Cleaner will push now," she said. "Thermal track is broken, not dead. He will switch to cadence. He knows your stride. You need to shift your gait and your echoes." Mac pressed gauze against his neck and glared at the balcony. "Who are you to give orders?" Reed made his voice hard. "She's the only one who kept us alive the last 3 minutes. That is enough for now." He looked up. "What is your call sign?" She ignored the question. "You are late. The market route is a funnel. The north path holds traps and a triggerman in a blue cap. The target you came for is moving south to the dam road under a curtain of motorbikes. If he reaches the culvert, he will vanish into a tunnel network. Your pilot cannot loiter. Make a choice." A memory flashed in Reed's head. An after-action slide from a dry room far away. A satellite image of a dam face with little white lines like spider silk. Someone had written in the margin that the tunnels, 8 teams. The slide had a red stamp. The stamp said "Do not pursue." He looked at Mac. "Can you walk?" Mac nodded once. "You are going to trust her after she shot me." "I'm going to use what keeps us breathing," Reed said. "You and I will resolve the rest when we are out." Mac looked at his boots. "Copy." The kid tugged Reed's sleeve. "The map. I can show you the back alleys. My uncle worked the dam. There is a stair under the school. The tunnel is cracked from the last flood." Reed took the map. It was dirty and worn. Pencil lines spidered through the lanes. A small cross marked a narrow path behind a bakery and past a Go pen. The cross had a date from 2 days ago. The woman sent one more measured shot into a chimney. A cough replied from a man who had thought he was covered. Silence fell again. She lifted her cheek from the stock and stood. In the bright smoke, her silhouette looked like a cutout from another world. She vaulted the railing and slid down a broken gutter. When she hit the street, she moved with a quiet that felt unnatural. Up close, Reed saw more of her gear. Everything was clean. Everything was taped. No rattle. The skull patch looked older now. The silver line under it had faded thread. "You knew my name," Reed said. "How?" "Phantom watches patterns," she said. "You run toward fire when you think you are to blame. That gave us your signature months ago." Mac barked a bitter laugh. "We are dancing with a ghost." "Good." The woman faced him. "You sold them the routes 2 days ago, or someone wearing your signature did. Your name was the lever. Ask why." Mac went pale. He looked away. "My sister. She is in the city. 2 men visited her. They sent me a video. They said a small favor." Reed's gut nodded. "Why did you not tell me?" "You froze at the clinic," Mac said. "You were not ready to carry my secret on top of yours." A mortar round arced into the far end of the street and popped. Shrapnel hissed against stone. The shock brought them back. The woman pointed at the school roof. "Cleaner will crest there. He will shoot low through cover. He favors ankle breaks to freeze lines. Do not show him a straight knee. Drop weight before he fires." Reed nodded. "We move on the kid's back path. Goal is the dam road before the culvert." She gave a short nod and handed him a small metal tag. Cold, thin, laser-etched. It showed the same white skull with 2 black eyes. On the back were 6 numbers. "What is this?" Reed said. "Proof I am not rumor," she said. "If you call the numbers, you will not like who answers." "Name," he said. She looked to the smoke where the market boiled and gave him the smallest answer. "Call me Vale." They moved as one. Through the bakery yard, past a toppled fence, over a drain that stank of old water. The kid kept them tight. Vale floated ahead and shot only when she had to. Every shot was a change in the air that favored them. At the school wall, she raised a fist. Everyone dropped. A shape eased over the roof lip. Black rifle. Slim can. The outline of a man who had practiced moving like a shadow. Vale sighted. The man slipped back before she fired. He was fast. He knew he was seen. He will flank, she said. He will press your rear with scatter to make you rush. Then we do not rush, Reed said. They reached the last corner before the dam road. The motorbikes buzzed beyond the smoke like flies over meat. The culvert lay ahead, one sprint away. The kid took a breath like he was about to dive. A soft scrape sounded to their left. Very close. A small mirror slid around a low step. It showed Reed's own eye, small and hard. The mirror withdrew. Vale turned toward the sound and lifted her rifle. A voice spoke from the shadow. Calm. Pleased. Wolf 2. Step into the open and drop your weapon, or the boy dies. I have your stride. I have your time. This is already decided. Reed raised a hand. Vale froze. Mac tightened his grip on his rifle. The kid stared at Reed, trust and fear mixed in one raw look. The shadow shifted. A figure emerged with the black rifle steady and the lens of a thermal scope glowing faint. The cleaner. The man lifted his chin. You brought Phantom to me. Thank you. The cleaner stepped from shadow into smoke, rifle steady, muzzle low. His stance was practiced. He moved like someone who had rehearsed the kill 1,000 times in silence. The thermal lens pulsed with faint heat. His voice carried calm authority. You carry the ghost, Vale, he said, eyes sliding over her patch. Directive should have stayed buried. Now it dies with you. Vale did not flinch. Her cheek pressed against the stock. You are late, Cutter. Phantom warned about you. Reed gripped his rifle tight. His heart beat in his throat. The boy's breath rasped against his chest plate. Mac's hand hovered over his sling, blood drying down his collar. The cleaner, Cutter, took 2 slow steps closer. Drop your rifles. Walk into the open. I'll leave the kid breathing. The rest depends on command. Reed's head filled with echoes of training. Never negotiate from a choke point. Never accept a killer's terms. But the boy's thin arms clung to him. The weight of that trust cut deep. Vale shifted her aim an inch. Cutter's rifle dipped lower, his finger still brushing the trigger guard. He read her like a mirror. You fire, I break his ankle, Cutter said. Then I take his throat. You both know my cadence. You both know you cannot stop it. Mac spat blood into the dirt. Then, why are you talking? Shoot already. Cutter smiled thin. Because I want Anders to watch. He is a freeze risk. He carries guilt. He is predictable. When he locks, everyone dies. I am here to prove it. Reed felt the shame press cold at the edges of his skull. The clinic. The doorway smoke. Mac dragging him. Vale's words. He swallowed hard. His boots ground into the grit. The boy whispered, don't let go. Reed took a breath. He let the guilt sharpen instead of choke. His voice came out steady. Cutter, you talk too much for a ghost. Vale on my count. The cleaner's head tilted. Count. Reed shouted, 1. Cutter's rifle twitched. Vale's barrel snapped. The air cracked. The boy screamed as Cutter fired. The shot went low, just as Vale warned. Reed yanked the boy sideways, but the round sliced hot through his calf. His leg buckled. He rolled with the boy under him, dragging him clear of the line. Vale's round clipped Cutter's shoulder. He staggered, but he did not fall. His grin widened. He dropped a small canister from his belt. It bounced once and smoked red. Now the swarm comes, Cutter said. His silhouette blurred in the haze. You'll never reach the dam. Mac dragged Reed up with one arm. The boy clutched his map, coughing. The sound of motorbikes grew louder, closing fast. Vale pulled a flashbang from her rig, yanked the pin with her teeth, and hurled it into the smoke. The blast washed white through the alley. When Reed's vision cleared, Cutter was gone. Only the red smoke lingered, curling toward the dam road. Vale spoke flat. He will lead the convoy. If he gets the target through the culvert, the tunnels eat him alive, and you lose everything. Your choice now. Chase Cutter into the culvert or break off for extraction. The boy tugged Reed's vest, eyes wild. There's another way. My uncle's stair. It cuts under the dam. Faster than the bikes. Vale's jaw tightened. That tunnel has collapsed sections. Half of it is black water. Cutter knows it too. He'll wait in the dark. Mac reloaded, hands shaking. We can't outrun bikes. We either take the stair or we die here. Reed wiped soot from his face. The wound in his calf burned, but he could still move. He looked at Mac, then at the boy, then at Vale. We take the stair, Reed said. Vale's eyes narrowed. Then you are choosing the dark. Reed chambered around. His voice was calm now. No, I'm choosing the fight. They moved fast, guided by the boy, past a fallen gate, down a broken stair littered with glass bottles. The sound of engines roared above, but the stair sank deep into silence. The air turned cold. Water dripped somewhere in the black. Vale's rifle light cut a narrow beam. The walls closed tight. Graffiti smeared in old chalk spoke of people who had hidden here once. Behind them, muffled through stone, the motorbikes screamed past toward the culvert. Cutter was driving them straight. But somewhere in this stairwell, his shadow waited. At the bottom, the tunnel yawned. Black water lapped at the edges. The beam caught something floating. A mask. Scorched. White skull painted on it. Vale stiffened. That is not mine. The boy gasped. He's already here. A voice echoed from the dark, bouncing off the stone. Calm. Amused. Wolf too. Vale. The boy. All in one narrow throat. You chose the tunnel. That means I own you. Water rippled deeper inside. Footsteps followed. Slow. Certain. Cutter was close. The tunnel swallowed them whole. Water sloshed around their boots, cold and slick. Every drip echoed like a clock. Reed felt the boy trembling against his side. Mac limped but pushed forward, rifle high. Vale moved ahead, light steady, barrel never dropping. Cutter's voice followed, carried by the stone. Calm, confident. Every mission has a ledger. Today, I balance yours. Phantom should have died years ago. You drag its corpse into my ground. Reed whispered, stay quiet. But the boy's breath came sharp and loud in the chill air. Vale halted, lifted her hand. Her light caught faint wires strung across the water at knee height. She traced one with her barrel. Trip mines. Cutter seeded the tunnel. Mac cursed under his breath. He's hurting us. Wants us boxed. Reed's calf throbbed where the bullet had grazed him. He pushed the pain down and scanned the ceiling. Rusted pipes ran overhead. One dripped water into the black below. He traced the angle, thinking, measuring. Vale's voice was low. Step only where I step. Keep the boy between us. They moved slow. Each step stirred ripples. Reed's ears strained for Cutter's stride. Nothing. Only drips, their breaths, and the boy's teeth chattering. Then metal scraped. Behind them. Quick. A shadow broke the light. Cutter was not in front. He was at their back. A muzzle flash split the dark. Mac cried out, rifle clattering. Blood sprayed the tunnel wall. His shoulder jerked back, body twisting. He slammed into the water. Reed spun, firing blind into the flash. The tunnel roared with echoes. Vale's beam cut through the haze. For a second, Cutter's silhouette appeared, lean, precise, a mask gleaming under the thermal lens. Then he vanished into the black water like a wraith. Mac. Reed dropped beside him. The bullet had torn high across his chest plate, punching deep near the collar. Mac's eyes rolled white. He forced a laugh that came out wet. Still breathing. Not for long. Reed grabbed gauze, pressing hard. Mac's hand caught his wrist. Listen. Forget me. Take the kid out. Don't freeze again. Shut up, Reed said, voice rough. You're not dying here. Vale crouched low, eyes never leaving the dark ahead. Cutter isn't playing anymore. He'll bleed us until one makes a mistake. The boy pressed against Reed, clutching his map tight. His voice was small. My uncle said the tunnel splits. Left goes under the dam. Right goes into the old flood chamber. If we choose wrong, it fills with water. Cutter's voice drifted again, closer this time. Choose wrong anyway. I control both doors. Vale flicked her light off. Darkness wrapped them. He can't track us without glow. He's hunting by sound now. Change rhythm. She tapped her boot twice, then stepped 3 quick paces. Break cadence. He can't read stride without pattern. Reed shifted Mac's weight. The wounded man groaned but stayed upright. The boy moved when Reed moved, tiny hands gripping his vest. They followed Vale's stuttered rhythm through the water. The tunnel swallowed their noise in broken beats. Then the light came back, Cutter's thermal scope, glowing like a ghost eye in the dark. It hung 30 feet ahead, low, waiting. Vale's voice barely rose above a whisper. That glow is bait. He knows we'll aim for it. There's a mirror rigged on the wall. A shot cracked from behind them. The round ricocheted and sparked. Vale snapped her rifle toward the rear, muzzle steady. Nothing but ripples and smoke from the flash. Cutter was circling them, using side passages. He knew every stone. Reed's breath came harsh. He pressed Mac against the wall. Hold here. Mac grabbed his vest. Don't do it. Reed pulled a grenade from his belt. Old dented. He kissed the pin, yanked it, and tossed it down the left split. The blast thundered. Water surged. Shrapnel sang against stone. The tunnel shook, dust down from the ceiling. Silence. Then Cutter's laugh, low and cruel. Wolf 2 finally makes noise. Good. Keep making it. I'll know where to cut. The boy whimpered. Reed pulled him close. His hand shook, not from fear, but from rage. He was done being prey. Vale stepped to his side, rifle raised. Her whisper was sharp. Next corner, he'll press us hard. I'll draw him. You take the boy, and Mac through the right split. Trust me. Reed shook his head. He'll kill you. Maybe. But you're the mission now. Cutter doesn't care about me. He wants you broken. Mac coughed blood. She's right. Go. Reed's heart hammered. The boy clung tighter. Vale's eyes met his in the dark, calm, resigned, like someone who had already decided her fate. She moved before he could answer. One flash of her light. One shout. Here, Cutter. The tunnel erupted with gunfire. Cutter's shadow lunged for her beam. The sound echoed like thunder under stone. Vale vanished into the dark with him. Reed stood frozen for half a breath, torn between running and turning back. Mac groaned. The boy sobbed. The water rippled with violence deeper inside. Then a single scream cut through the tunnel. Reed could not tell if it belonged to Vale or Cutter. The scream echoed, bouncing off stone until it felt like the whole tunnel was crying. Then silence. Just dripping water, smoke, and the shallow breathing of Mac and the boy. Reed's chest tightened. He gripped his rifle and pushed forward, every nerve on fire. Mac groaned behind him, voice weak. Don't go. You'll lose the kid. But Reed could not leave Vale in the dark. Not like that. He crept forward, water lapping at his knees. The beam of Cutter's thermal lens blinked once, then vanished. He'd killed the light. He was hunting blind now. Reed slowed his breathing. Every step matched the drip of water. He let the tunnel teach him silence. His eyes strained for movement, but it was his ears that caught it first, a faint scuff against stone to the left. He swung his rifle and fired. The tunnel roared. A grunt answered. Then another shot came back, wild, snapping past his ear. Sparks bit the wall. Closer. Cutter's voice whispered. Almost got you. Then Vale's voice cut through the black. Sharp. Down, Reed. He dropped flat into the water. Vale's rifle cracked twice. Sparks flew high. A body stumbled into the beam of her muzzle flash. Cutter, mask cracked, blood streaming from his shoulder. His rifle wavered. Reed rose, firing 3 rounds into the center mass. Cutter staggered, but didn't fall. His eyes shone with a fanatic's light. You think you killed me? Phantom dies first. He pulled a second canister from his vest. Gas hissing white. The tunnel filled with a choking burn. Vale lunged, slamming Cutter into the wall. They struggled, silhouettes locked. Reed could see Cutter's knife flash in the haze. Vale caught his wrist, teeth bared, but the blade pressed close to her throat. Reed charged, tackling them both into the water. The knife scraped his plate. Cutter roared, trying to twist free. Reed jammed his own knife up under the man's chin, pushing with everything left in him. Bone cracked. Blood spilled hot into the black water. Cutter jerked once, then went still. Reed shoved him away. His body floated, mask half submerged, skull emblem washed in red. The tunnel went quiet again. Only water moving. Only ragged breaths. Vale leaned against the wall, blood at her throat where the blade had grazed. "You froze," she said, voice hoarse, but only long enough to aim. Reed looked down at Cutter's corpse. No more freezing. They staggered back to Mac and the boy. Mac was pale, eyes glassy, but he smiled weak. "Thought you'd gone under." "Not yet," Reed said. He hauled Mac up with Vale's help. Together they pushed through the last of the tunnel, the boy guiding them by the map. Light broke ahead. A grate. Rusted. They shoved it until it clanged open. Fresh air rushed in, cold and sharp. They emerged on the dam's maintenance ledge. Below, the motorbikes swarmed the culvert. They searched in confusion, engines buzzing like hornets. Cutter's beacon was silent. Their leader was gone. Vale raised a rifle, but Reed stopped her. "Not our fight now. Extraction." Far overhead, the thump of rotor blades cut through the sky. Their bird. Late but not lost. They fired a flare. The helo dipped, sliding into position. Ropes dropped. The team clipped in. Mac winced but gripped tight. The boy clung to Reed. Vale climbed last, silent as ever. As they lifted away, Reed looked down one final time. The dam spread below, broken concrete veins in the earth. Cutter's men scattered without direction. The war would keep burning. But one ghost was gone. In the cabin, Mac leaned back, eyes closing. The boy finally cried, all the fear spilling out. Vale sat across from Reed, her patch dark in the red cabin light. Reed asked, "What happens to Phantom now?" She looked at him, tired, eyes steady. "Phantom never ends. It only changes hands." He thought of the skull tag in his pocket, cold against his chest. Proof or a burden? Maybe both. The helo banked east. Dawn cracked over the ridges. Reed tightened his grip on the boy and stared into the rising light. War wasn't done with him. And maybe Phantom wasn't either. The mission was over. But the shadows promised more.